Hey everyone, welcome to another standard video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're now on the inside track towards 2,500 subscribers, so anything you can do to help us get there a little bit quicker would be greatly appreciated, so thank you very much. So today we are playing some Dimir Control with some of the new dragons from Tarkir Dragonstorm. And I was inspired to do this by the Pioneer Dimir Control list that ran these two dragons specifically. That was part of the content creator MTGO challenge about a week or so ago. Unfortunately, there are still some areas where Explorer diverges from Pioneer a little, and cards like Simulgar's Scorn and some of the kind of Dragons Matters cards from the original Dragons of Tarkir are still missing from Explorer, so I couldn't really actually accurately recreate the deck in that format. So I'm going to do a standard version of it instead, as we still have the kind of the key dragon pieces, and they are Meringue River Regent and Scavenger Regent. So these are both Omen dragons, so they're the dragons with the kind of option to cast them as a spell as well. So Meringue River Regent is a 6/7 for 6 with flying. When it enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hand, but it has Coil and Catch, which is a 4-mana instant, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. So it's doing a rough Memory Deluge impression in this particular build. So it's a kind of early, well, not early, but kind of mid-game card draw engine, and then a creature with a very powerful ETB later on in the game. And then Scavenger Regent is a 4/4 for 4 with flying and ward, discard a card. It also has Exude Toxin, which is X black black sorcery. Each non-dragon creature gets -X/-X till end of turn, so it's almost got that kind of Meat Hook Massacre style effect. So it's one of our mass removal spells, as well as being a dragon. So yeah, those are two very powerful new dragons from the set that we are going to run in this deck. It'll be interesting, given that kind of Cori-Steel Cutter is running all over the place, and like Temporary Lockdown is the best answer to that card. And obviously playing a Dimir Control deck doesn't give you access to Temporary Lockdown, but Meringue River Regent does let you bounce 2 of their monk tokens, which is a pretty powerful effect and kind of a big tempo swing. Question is, can we survive long enough to get to 6 mana? And I think that will be the big test of whether this Dimir Control deck is viable, is how well does it play into those fast Steel Cutter decks. So, looking through the rest of it, so we've got a kind of very potent removal package at the bottom of the curve. So we've got 3 cut downs, 2 Caustic Exhales, which is often in this deck a 1 mana -3/-3 until end of turn, and if you have to pay 2 mana for it, it's not the worst thing in the world. 3 Go for the Throats, 1 Shoot the Sheriff, and 1 Anoint with Affliction. So we hopefully in the early game will do a pretty good job of just being able to keep pace with the opponent 1 for 1 until we can get to our more powerful sweepers and cards like that. Then another new card with Dispelling Exhale. So this is a most of the time a slightly worse mana leak or no more lives, and that counter target spell unless controller pays 2. But if we do Behold a Dragon, then it's counter it unless it pays 4, so it's actually better. So often in this deck, that will be a pretty potent counter spell right up until the late game. 3 Steps Ahead is obviously our other counter spell of choice, 3 mana to counter any spell, but obviously can work as a token copying a creature or artifact and a draw spell as well. Stock up 3 copies of this, as we also run 4 copies of the Coil and Catch, so we don't want to get stranded with too much card selection in our hand and not be able to do anything else. So stock up a good card selection and card advantage card. Then our other 4 drops. I've moved Meringue down to the 4 drop spot, but it is also technically a 6 drop. In the same way, this is a 4 drop and a whatever drop. Oil Deep Gear Hulk, so 4/4 lifelink ward, makes the opponent discard a card of your choice, I should say, non-land card. Actually, any card. I thought it was non-land. There you are. Most of the time it won't be, but you know. And then they draw a card. Shieldred, 1 copy of that, and then we've got 2 Cruelty of Gix. So this Access Hand Disruption lets us put any card in our hand from our library and then a creature from our graveyard onto the battlefield. So if they have been able to deal with one of our regents, well, maybe we'll just get it back again. Then a Harvester of Misery, which is a mass removal spell on a stick. 5/4 with Menace as well, and early on it can be a 2 drop, just acting as removal. So yeah, a lot of our almost all of our creatures in this deck are expensive, but also potentially spells for cheaper mana costs as well. Then it's a standard mana base, so it's slightly less forgiving than the Pioneer version, obviously, but we do have quite a few different types of dual lands now in these 3-year standards. So we've got Restless Reef, Undercity Sewers, Gloom Lake Verge, Dark Slick Shores, and Underground River. A couple of blast zones. This is quite good at dealing with monk tokens and things like that as well. Actually, no, it isn't. No, it's not good at dealing with those because it comes with a charge counter already on it. It's good at dealing with kind of the other kinds of aggro decks, those decks that run lots of 1-drops or 2-drops, and then a few basic lands as well. Then in terms of the sideboard, so we got a little bit more removal, so a Caustic Exhale and a Cut Down, Ghost Vacuum as Graveyard Hate, Negate for some additional counterspell action if we need it. River Churn Monument, which I don't think we've used before, which is a mill card. So it's it kind of has the millstone effect normally, and then you can exhaust it to basically double the number of cards that the opponent's milled over the game. So this can kind of potentially, if the opponent's drawing, those kind of cards where those kind of decks where the opponent's getting through their deck very quickly, then River Churn Monument is a potential option as well. Good in kind of control mirrors. Anoint with Affliction, blot out, some more target kind of 1-for-1 removal, and then we've got the Filigree Silex, which is actually a good answer to monk tokens, and another Harvester of Misery as well. So yeah, Dimir Control in Standard. Interested to see how this does in an era of kind of aggro all over the place. We'll see how much of that we run into. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let's go on to the ladder. These 3 steps ahead with only 1 blue mana is not good. Okay, this is a better hand, so what should we put back for now? I think let's put back River Regent for the time being. Keep another land. Fairy Dream Thief. Centers Surveyor 1. Okay. Oh, with not playing a huge amount of Standard, you forget what's actually good and playable in these formats. Another swamp. Oh, I see. It's one of those. Okay, yes, you may play that. And a Hopeless Nightmare. Is that worth countering? No, probably not. Discard land. I'll cut down their Hex Mage. So I've got a choice here to either counterspell or stock up. I think I just need to stock up to find my 4th land. Yep, we'll take a stock up and an island. Rakdos, eh? It's not normally what you see in a Hopeless Nightmare deck. What does this do? Choose target opponents. Oh, that's cool. Thought Stalker Warlock. Cruelty of Gix. Interesting. Well, that's potentially a reanimation spell in a minute, isn't it? So am I stocking up again? I think so. Yep, we'll grab a Cut Down and a Gloom Lake Verge. Pass the turn. Okay. So they can just sack their cursed... Oh no, the Hopeless Knight there, that makes sense. Gives them some scry action as well. Cut that down. Hopefully they don't have another one. Nope, good. So, I can either reanimate Oil Deep straight away or go through the motions with this cruelty. So I'm on 15 life. So I go to 12. The second chapter triggers, I go to 9. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get my Oil Deep Gear Hulk back. What does this do? Skeletons you control. Yeah. Yeah, that can go. Don't want having a removal spell for my Gear Hulk. Cool. Okay. So the opponent's on a sort of Rakdos sacrifice deck. So I quite like the Filigree Silex here. It's good at mass removal. Same with Harvester of Misery. Anoint with Affliction. Stick Exhale and Cut Down. What do I need less of? I don't think I need the Cruelty of Gix, actually, in this matchup. It was good there, but that 3 life depresses me. I think I'll trim 3 steps ahead. A 3-mana counter spell, when they have that much value in their deck, does not seem that great. Well, you certainly come across all sorts of decks you don't usually find in Explorer. Yeah, this hand's okay. It needs a little bit of help, but okie doke. So they can't take the Regent, which is another reason in which this card is very good, because it's basically a memory deluge that the opponent can't duress. Yep, Filigree Silex makes sense. I'll lose one of my cut downs here. Okay, I need some land. This deck does run quite a lot of it, being a control deck. Inti, yeah, that can die. Good, land is good. Nothing, eh? Fine. No, well, I'm not doing anything either. Guess I need that 4th land, please, sir. Please, Mr. Arena, can I have my 4th land? Double top. Oh god, we're dead. Yep. How much do I want to just kill that? We may as well. Oh look, you can see the dragon you've already seen. Yay! Okay, well that puts our coil and catch online. It's just got a duplicate counter spell, I think, here. So I could Harvester of Misery, but that seems not hugely necessary when the opponent's not really doing anything. Forsaken Miner, sure thing. You may sacrifice another creature. And I'll coil and catch again. Discard Dark Slick Shores. So I could Gear Hulk here, but I'd rather keep Counterspell available, so I'll just stock up instead. Take another stock up, and okay. Always feels good to get that first win. Well, that's also awful. Okay, well, we'll keep that and pray. So put back a land and exhale, and hopefully stock up will save us. Look at our opponent with their 7 cards. Oh, and it's red. Yeah, not the sort of matchup where you're particularly thrilled about mulliganing to 5. Rip. Well, that might eventually be good. Bleh. Bleh. So I'll kill that. I go to 14, and then I go to 10. And then I cry. Well, let's go hunting. So Caustic kills Misery, Cut Down kills Misery? Nemesis. So yes, if the opponent never draws any cards ever again, I might be fine. I'm not fine, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Yeah. They'll give that double strike, and then I'll die. So that's fun. Yeah, well, we were looking to 5 and had no early interaction there, so that's not a huge surprise. So, Harvester of Misery in, Exhale in, Cut Down in, Filigree Silex in, Cruelty of Gix out, 3 steps ahead out, Anoint with Affliction in, and we go. God, can you imagine if I kept the hand that didn't do anything until turn 4? The embarrassment would have been so first-hand. Okay, let's get Filigree Silex down. Let's start ticking that up shortly. Ember Heart Challenger, that's okay. So I could kill that in the traditional way. Or I could use this, but do I want to save that and cast it later? Probably. Yeah, let's just cut it down, I think. I don't like it spoiling my appetite. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good new card. Seen that crop up in a couple of standard decks. Rather spicily gets around. So I'll probably leave the Silex on 2. Well, let's see. Sadly, I can't cast that. So I could just kill this and hold up Harvester as a discard. Or I could just cast the Scavenger Regent as a 4/4 with Ward. Seems pretty decent. Does, after all, exude Toxin. Not a mouse. Eh. Okay, well, we'll go up to 3 on the Silex. Okay. So I could oil deep here. Take a look in their hand. That would leave the Sunspine links alive, which I don't love doing. Harvester, sadly, at the moment doesn't kill any of their creatures. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's attack. Take a sneaky peek. What does this do? Discard a card, then draw 2 cards. Lightning Strike doesn't deal with either of my creatures at the moment. That's not a... that's a cat. Thank God that's a cat. Yeah, I'm going to take the case of the Crimson Pulse. And I think, yeah, I'll probably pop the Silex if they attack with this, as well as the links. I'm not sure whether I want to block the links, because I don't get the life link if I do. Let's see what else they do, I suppose. Hide Claw, fine. Good. Marvellous. We love to see it. Okay, well, this is a great Harvester target now. Other creatures. So I'll pop the Silex, blow up their Tersa. How should we do this? Let's attack for 4. Play Harvester of Misery. That can then block the Sunspine if they attack. And if they don't, I've got 2 removal spells ready to kill them next turn. Feels good. Should caveat I haven't won yet. But feels good. Okie dokie. Love that. Yep. Ooh, that's got a sting. Oh no, they can activate the frenzy if they attack. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, this is awkward. So yeah, I will block here. They will be able to frenzy. And I'll take 4. But, fortunately, I will then be able to... Oh, that's not an artifact, is it? Of course it isn't. Oh wait, they're just dead if I activate Reef. Yes. Let's just do that instead. Fine. Okay. So I'll trim a meringue on the draw. Stick in a blot out instead, because it is a good answer to a Sunspine Lynx. I don't love Exhale. But kind of, there's a limited amount of stuff we can cut, and it does like sniper a Nemesis or something. And it's good at kind of late game draws. We don't really want it in our opening hand when we're on the draw. Don't want that. Okay, this is pretty good. So we'll put back Meringue River Regents. Mark Fire Hero will be cut down shortly. Okay, they've got the Manifold Mouse, so just kill that now. I'll take 1. Do I Filigree Silex now or wait with Caustic Exhale? I should probably wait with Caustic in case they play like Nemesis or something. No Ember Heart. Okay. That's fine. So kill that. Damn, they do have a land. Right, let's Silex. And with an Undercity Sewers. Yeah, I'll keep Anoint with Affliction. Yep, it's going to do us a fair chunk of damn. Midge. You know, try and talk like an actual human. Okay, that's fine. So we take 6 here and go to 11. We'll tick up the Silex. I think I'm going to have to wait with stock up, unfortunately, because I may need to anoint this with Affliction. Now, there's an interesting question about whether we pop the Silex or not. I think I probably should, so let's just blow up the Hive Claw. See what they do with this. Yeah, go on. I thought they might try and Monstrous Rage it, but... Yikes. Okay, well, that's going to be a problem. Okay, I quite like Oil Deep Gearhulk here. It's a lifelink and a brick wall, so we'll play that. How does this solve again? You have no cards in hand. Okay. Not going to target myself, I do want my stock up. Ooh, that's interesting. Discard up to 2 cards. So they can't currently get through the ward on Oil Deep, but if they draw a land, they can. So yeah, I'll get rid of the Burst Lightning. It's also a cheaper way of them emptying their hand. Okay, looks like they're going to empty their hand anyway. Sunspine Links, sure thing. Okay, well, let's go stocking up. Need an answer to Links, really. Neither of those... no, that doesn't do it, does it? I mean, I could Caustic and Cut Down, and that would do it. I don't like doing that, but I think it's probably the best thing to do. Because then I turn on my own life gain. So that was quite expensive on the cards. I think it was the right thing to do, but... Okay, they've solved their case. Bleh. Okay, well, hold Restless Reef back as a blocker. I'll attack with the Oil Deep. So they draw 2 cards. And a 3rd card. Oh my god, that's so awful. I am fortunate in some way that I'm still on 13 life. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that hurts. Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming. Yeah, okay. We'll pass the turn. God, that stock up was so painful, having to use both cards to kill their links. Well, at least I can counter that. But they are just drawing 3 cards a turn. Which is problematic. In the extreme. I need like a mass removal spell urgently. Oh, just another counterspell. This is why I don't like this card in this matchup. To be clear, I mean, it saved my Gear Hulk there, but it's not doing much else for us. Yeah, it turns out drawing 3 cards a turn in an aggro deck, quite good. More as we get it. Yeah, we're dead. I think if it hadn't been for that absolutely horrendous stock up, I think we might have been okay. Blarg. Well, this has a Surveil land. And a Mazemind Tome. Okay, looks like we're in a control mirror. Caustic Exhale looks terrible here. I like counter spells. I don't like not drawing land, but fortunately we did get our 4th land. Mazemind Tome is pretty good in a control mirror. Okay, let's fire off one of our Meringue River Regents. Just got to cut down. I hate what they've done with the place. You think you're just going to face aggro, and look what happens. No? No, I didn't think so. I don't really want to get into a counter spell war either. Yep, let's go again. Discard land. Let's take a look with a stock up. 3 steps ahead. And another land, I think, is fine. Grab an island. Wow, they love their fish, don't they? Okay. I'll discard Exhale and shoot the Sheriff. At some point these fish will become a problem. Not hugely worried yet. So I've got 7 mana available to me. Yep, just pass the turn. Sadly, I would very much like one of my Exude Toxins, but they are hiding in our deck at the moment. No, okay. Discard land. Cruelty of Gix is interesting. Not really willing to get into a counterspell war, I don't think. But I could just try and overwhelm the board. How much mana have they got? Quite a lot. Let's make a start. I think we kind of have to here because we're kind of on the back foot. Okay, so we didn't win that counterspell war, but they are down to 4 cards. And we still have 2 exhales. They're no longer on 4 cards. So I've got 9 mana, which is an interesting amount of mana. A very interesting amount of mana. They seem very thoughtful here. Oh god, what does this do? So, I think I'm going to... let's read this first, shall we? Target opponent mills 3 cards, but a land card... Okay, that's words. We'll start with Shieldred. Ha! Okay. Cool. Take Jace. So we know they've got a Ride's End. Ah, they've stolen my Dark Slick Shores. The cheek. Ah, so they're main decking Riverchurn Monument, so they're a kind of mill deck by tradition. In which case, I'm gonna have to move quite quickly here. So I shall Meringue River Regent. Let's bounce Realm Breaker and a fish. $25 cards. Land. Go. $23 cards. Go. I might just be able to do it here. So I've got 20 cards in graveyard. They can exhaust their River Churn to turn it into... Oh yes. Yeah, good work. Very confusing, but I kind of get what they were up to. Okay, so in this control mirror of nonsense, I think we put in our own River Churns. Negate, obviously. Take out some of this removal. And I think that will be fine. Probably should have pulled the trigger on the counterspell war just a little earlier in that first game. It let them just do a lot of stuff before we could really set up properly. I'm not in love with this hand, but let's counter that. Let's not give them their engine. So yeah, our 3 steps ahead is a little dead for the moment. Jace the Perfected Mind. Okay.
I'll take note of all your failures. No secret escapes my grasp.
Well, I may as well oil deep now. Yeah, I'll take their Day of Judgment.
You can be made to obey.
Interesting. Okay.
Your victory is an illusion.
Why did they not... What do they want to do here? Okay, they just want 3 steps ahead, but they could have targeted this and still 3 steps. Not really sure why they didn't target my oil deep with their Jace there, but... You know what? Not going to question it. You do you. Okay, let's cancel that. I'd probably rather have saved that for their second Jace, but I'm not sure we can be that fussy at this point in the game. Just cast Scavenger Regent instead. Okay, well that's not another...
For the sake of Phyrexia, I will keep watch.
Okay, drawing one card.
Your mind.
Alright, let's fire up Reef. We'll send Scavenger at Jace, these two at the opponent. Mill them rather than us. Nope, they've given up. Excellent. Okay. Blot out in. More of these removal spells out. Is there anything else? I suppose Harvester. It's better than a removal spell. It's just so expensive though. Right, let's put Silex in, because it's a good answer to River Churn as well. Take out some more removal, and we'll do it like this. I mean, that is technically a draw spell as well as a counter spell, so... Okay, and no River Churn is good news. That's fine. It's an island. Do I want a 3 steps? Yeah. That's fine. If they want to counter it, they can. Nope. Feels like ditching... Yeah, I don't think we need Blot Out when we've got this many counter spells. Yep. It's only fair. You let me have mine. I'm nothing if not steeped in justice. Tidebinder. Oh, it's a card. So I'll take the second stock up, and am I taking 3 steps or Cruelty of Gix? I think I will take Cruelty. It's a fun card. What should I discard? We're getting to the point now where Exhale's not quite as good, I suppose. Ditch and negate. Hopefully that will terrify them sufficiently. Okay. Ooh, could play my own River Churn Monument. That's fun. Let's try that. Ha! No counterspell. Alright. I'm going to need an answer to this Restless Anchorage at some point, but it's not an immediate problem. Sadly, Harvester can't deal with it at this moment in time. Got 4 cards in their graveyard. Go stocking up again then. So let's grab land and Meringue River Regent. Pass the turn. I mean, I'm going to mill that whatever they do, so it is a bit like whatever. So I go to 11. Three steps ahead for cards. Target exiles. Okay, so this is actually an answer to exiles a creature. Yeah, this is actually an answer to Restless Anchorage, so that's fine. We'll mill the opponent. I could cast. I could just play one of these, I suppose, and still hold up, blot out. Wouldn't be able to mill again. How many cards have they got in the graveyard? Just 9. Cruelty of Gix doesn't do anything for us here at the moment. Yeah, let's just play Scavenger Regent. Disdainful. Alright. Excellent. Okay, that deals with that. So I've got 36 cards, they've also got 36. So let's mill their 3 steps ahead before they get that. They've got another Anchorage, but that has slowed them down significantly. Destroy each non-land, so that doesn't deal with that. No, I can wait another turn. I admire their persistence with these anchorages. So I take 2. Rides End. Yep. Let's coil and catch. Start Dark Slick. So on 9. Do I want the Filigree Silex as well? Probably not. Okay, let's let the ward resolve. Then we'll exhale that. And we've still got Negate as well. 15 cards in graveyard. Jace the Perfected Mind can be negated. Okay. Nice.
Phyrexia's plans are already in motion. All your hopes and dreams were for nothing.
Play an oil deep gear Hulk. Take their Jace the Perfected Mind. Yep, that's Cruelty of Gix. On chapter 3. Dumb. Ooh, no. Okay, we'd love to see it. Okay, they've got their own River Churn monument. And I died. Oh my god, I can't believe they drew that. Legit furious. I mean, I did dig them further in their library, I suppose. Ugh. I don't really know what to say about that. How utterly infuriating. After all the cards I milled. Well. You gotta laugh. Dragon Fireblade, good card. So yeah, an interesting control deck. Certainly some good stuff in there. Got some good game against various decks. Struggled. I mean, that mono red mice deck, we did draw. We had to mulligan quite aggressively in that one. Yeah, so it does feel like. Yeah, it did okay, I think. Possibly too many River Regents. The top end felt a little clunky at times. Cruelty of Gix, particularly. Yeah. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyway, here's the deck list one more time, and it's in the description as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.